You've probably heard a million reasons why you should become a software engineer. So let me give you a few reasons why you shouldn't. The truth is that you'll constantly be under pressure as a software engineer. There's new challenges and a unique set of problems each and every time. When you're building different softwares, where you're adding feature sets and you're responding to user feedback, there is constant need for you to solve different types of problems, and sometimes there might not be resources available, and there might not be tools available to solve those problems. So you got to come up with custom solutions. And that can be quite daunting and exhausting for people over a long period of time. So a lot of people burn out just for the sake of constantly shifting. And then the other thing is new technologies and concepts come out every other month. So you thought you just got really good at, React and Node. Next thing you know, a couple years later, they release Vue. And then they release Next.js on top of React. And then they release Next 13. It's constantly changing, and you're constantly having to play catch up. You're almost never at a point where you can sit back, relax, and kind of drift. You just essentially, unless you're working at a big corporate company, you just constantly got to keep learning. And that is also exhausting for a lot of people. And then imposter syndrome. Everyone else seems to know more than you. Imposter syndrome is prevalent in almost every industry, but it is so prevalent in software engineering. If you think about it, there are new technologies coming out every other day. So different people have different set of skills and expertise, and there are different domains in software. There's machine learning, there's data science, there's full stack, cloud. And when you look at these other people, you always think, "Oh man, that person knows quite a bit and I don't know. I feel behind." And that reinforces your imposter syndrome. So you're constantly feeling pressure and you're constantly feeling worried that you're not good enough. And that brings me to my next point, which is you'll feel guilt. Are you developing the same value as your salary? So software engineers do get paid a lot depending on your level, depending on where you are. You can make anywhere from 100 to 200 to $300,000 a year. And a lot of times people feel guilt over that. Like, are you delivering 100 to 200 to $300,000 a year in value, right? And that puts pressure. It puts pressure on you to feel responsible and put more effort and work 60 hours, 70 hours a week. And a lot of people are constantly burning themselves out, just having that in the back of their mind. And then on the other end of the spectrum, businesses will make millions off of your hard work, and you'll only receive a fraction of that. So businesses, when you're building them these SaaS products or these machine learning algorithms, these new models, you're making those businesses millions, if not billions of dollars. The first engineer of Facebook, sure, they might have had a great exit, but the average startup, 90% of startups fail. So the average startup will not amount to anything. And they might get an exit, and you might have some small portion of share. And the thing is, they feed you into this lie where, like, oh, you're the first engineer. When this company blows up, you're gonna be a millionaire. You're gonna live in a mansion. That is so far from the truth. I can't emphasize this enough. That is so far from the truth. Most of the time, if a company does have an exit, maybe you'll get an extra 50 to 100 grand, and if you're really lucky, 200 grand, which by all means it's not a small amount of money, but at the same time, these shares vest over 4 years, and it takes on average 8 to 10 years for a company to make an exit. So if you're the first engineer and you made an extra 200 grand over 10 years, that's 20K a year. And you're told, wow, like you're gonna own a mansion. No, you're not. You're not gonna own shit. With 200 grand, you can't even put a down payment on a house these days. It's a small house. Anyways, the other thing that you have to constantly deal with is dealing with arrogant and obnoxious people. It's very odd phenomenon within the software engineering space. There's a lot of obnoxious and arrogant people. Everyone thinks they know everything, and nobody is willing to help you out, listen to you. And it's like, there are companies that have great cultures, but that's so far and few in between. If you look at any corporate company, it's full of just people wiggling their, I don't want to say the word, but yeah, it's like full of people stroking their ego, moving up, making useless decisions. It's all company politics. You got to please your boss. You got to get him on your good side. It's not even about to your technical capabilities. It comes down to like your communication and politics skills. So if you're really good at that, you'll move up really fast. If you're really good at boosting people's egos, if you're really good at stroking people's egos and dealing with arrogant and obnoxious people, you're going to go really far in software. But that's just like one of the cons of being in this space. One of the other things is tedious and time consuming tasks. You'll constantly be debugging, finding solutions to bugs, and bugs are probably the worst nightmare. you will spend hours trying to find what's causing a simple bug, and it works fine on your machine, but it doesn't work on the user's machine, and you don't have access to the user's machine. You can't get access to any logs or data because your company didn't set that up. They didn't think it was needed at the time. There's so many different scenarios where you're just going to be doing like mundane tasks, repetitive and boring and mind-numbing, brain-dead tasks, and it's just going to be burning you out and slowly chipping away at your sanity. The last thing is, contrary to popular belief, I already spoke about that. Okay, cool. I think I spoke about everything. But yeah, software engineering is a great career to be in, but also there are a lot of reasons why you shouldn't be in software engineering. And there are other careers as well that have just as much money and more pros than cons. So in this situation, pick and choose. If these are certain things that you're not willing to partake in and you can't handle these situations, then don't consider going into software engineering. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.